And then this year, 2023, I had, like you said, a really good run. The first show that I did, I actually judged that last year, and that's the WNBF New Zealand Aotearoa Elite Naturals. Really good show, but it is the start of WNBF New Zealand. It's never been here before. It's not as entrenched as things like the INBA or ICN. And so it's a small show, and the way that we had established the rules, which I think, we're moving away from that moving forward, but it's kind of the way you have to start, is okay, if you have the numbers that we talked about, there's a pro card, but if not, then an international panel that's watching the live stream decides, is the person pro caliber? So I actually was very fortunate to win the title. I won the bodybuilding overall. I won the open bodybuilding. There's only one class, again, small, but then I went up against the teen and the novice and I won that. But because of the size of the show, the panel decided no pro card. So huge honor. I mean, I'm only the second person who's won that title. The other one's Rhoda Elliott, who's a very lauded and accoladed natural bodybuilder. Yeah, and he's also in his 40s. He's gone to PNBA pro caliber little shows and done very well. I think he's placed in the Natural Olympia. He's the man. He's one of the best natural bodybuilders in New Zealand. So to be right there with him winning the same show, it's a huge honor. But then, my job this season, I was like, you know what? I'm going to really, even though it's about the journey, I'm going to let the competitive Eric out of the back. And I'm going to make a push. I push very hard to try to get my pro card. So I went to the States and I did 2 more shows. So I immediately left right after the New Zealand show in Christchurch, and I went to go compete in the Battle of the Bay in the Bay Area in California. And then the next weekend, Jeff and I drove up to the Washington State. And it was very, very tight. So it was a big 7-person middleweight class that I was in at Battle of the Bay. The top 4 middleweights were all 3DMJ clients, or me. I guess I'm a 3DMJ client. But so Lorenzo Elder actually won that and then went on to win the overall. So I placed second to the overall winner once again. And it was an extremely tight decision. That middleweight class, in bodybuilding, for those who don't know, they will move you around to make comparisons. And they keep the people they think are in the top spot in the center. And just by virtue of our numbers, Lorenzo and I were in the middle of the 7-person class, and everyone else got moved around us. And I was sitting there going, oh shit, I'm either first or second. I didn't get moved a single time, and neither did Lorenzo. And Lorenzo is good. So he is already an NGA pro. He's actually won NGA pro shows. And he had just done INBF show a few weeks back, or maybe a month ago, and he wasn't quite in top shape, and I think he placed second. So he had gotten in fantastic shape. I had also gotten in pretty damn good shape, and it was really tooth and nail. And I don't know if it was a 1-point decision or if I got a few first place nods, but we were the only 2 didn't get moved, and I ended up in second. So, and then we had 2 more 3DMJ athletes. It was a very, very competitive middleweights, and it was an honor to be up there, but I was just that close once again. 2 shows in a row where I got as close as you possibly could to a pro card without winning it. You win the show, don't get the panel decision, you place second to the pro winner. The next show we would do, Jeff and I, we drove up from Cali to Washington over 2 days. We had a great time together. The Washington State is a cool story because that's where Jeff got his pro card in 2009. I won the lightweight class. This is one of the overalls I got into, and he won the overall. So he beat me as well as everybody else, got his pro card, and we were coming back to that show 14 years later, which was a really, really cool experience. So that was a good show, but man, that was the most competitive middleweight class, even though I just did a really competitive one the week prior. I won the Masters, which was the first time competing in the Masters division, which was cool. And then I placed third in that division. So that middleweight class was really tough. A gentleman from Hong Kong flew out with just the most insane legs I've seen. Ace Fuming Chong. So big shout out to you, man. And then in second place was Ryan B., who was already a pro, but in men's physique, and he was trying to get his bodybuilding card. So he had an incredible physique as well. And then behind me was Josh Bradshaw in fourth, who was a very, very good amateur. And man, I tell you what, that top 4, if you look at the pictures, it's like, shit, I guess we have to give somebody second, third, and fourth, but it was a very, very, very tight class. So yeah, I think Ace had the best physique out of us, and he deservedly won. And he didn't even win the overall. That was a really competitive show. The lightweight winner, very, very impressive, totally diced. And I knew that I could get a little tighter. So the way I was peaking, since that was one of your questions, was I dieted all the way starting on February 4th, and the New Zealand show was September 30th. So I started around 96 kilos, like a bloated 96. I dropped to like 94 within a week. And then I dieted all the way down to, I was around 80 when I got on stage in New Zealand. And then I just dropped half a kilo or a bit. I think the lowest weigh-in I've seen this prep is in the low 78s, which is the lowest I've ever been. But this is also the leanest I've ever been. So the way I did that was I did kind of like a mid-load. So what that means is we carbohydrate load in bodybuilding to fill out our muscles because we store glycogen in them. But in the process of carb loading, you also tend to look a little puffy and water retaining just because of all the fluids and the fact that carbohydrates are osmotic. They draw water with them, which is why you look fuller. But you need some time for your water balance to restabilize. So I was basically taking my normal refeed days or my high days where I wasn't dieting. I had 5 low days, 2 high days on the weekends. And I just shifted them back and made the first one a little higher and the second one a little lower. And I did that on the Thursday, Friday. And then I would compete on the Saturday because overnight you tend to clean up and you look better. And it worked really well. And because I still had those low days leading into it, and on the day of the show, I really don't eat very much at all. Just a little bit of carbohydrate that's salty, and I keep my water flowing nice and high, and I look great. I can pump up. I'm actually in a mild deficit on game day, as long as I don't go out and party and eat. And when you're locked in and you've got to keep competing, you need to stay focused. It's not time to celebrate yet. The job isn't done. I was in a small deficit after each show on Saturday, and then I had the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday low days, and I repeated that both times. So for the Washington State after New Zealand, the Battle of the Bay after New Zealand, and the Washington State after the Battle of the Bay.